away you go.
Hi, Martina, and welcome. And you messaged me recently about some things that were on your mind about the coronavirus, and we had a very little chat recently over Skype, and you talked to me about some things that I didn't understand, I had never thought about. So, and I think after our little discussion, I think some of the things that you mentioned to me are things that other people should find out about. So, what I'd like to do really is just hand it over to you so that you give me a little bit of an interview of why you think this is important and why people need to know about what you've got to say next.
Yeah, I suppose I've got a trader's mentality because that's what I used to be, a trader in the city. And when there's a disaster happening, traders always look at where you can make money, sadly, and I hate to say it. And you can also look at where you're going to lose money. So when this started way back, I was keeping an eye on it, and you instantly start to go, well, what's going to happen next? And as soon as I saw numbers increasing in China, I knew it was inevitable that it was going to get here. There was no way, that anyone was going to say any different. So as anything in life, when something's going wrong, demand and supply changes. It's just simple economics, isn't it? So I can tell you in the normal world now, I can tell you what things might start to go up in demand. Netflix and streaming sites, because people are going to be indoors more, drinking more wine, reading more books, self-improvement programs, online ordering, self-care and pampering to make you feel better. And there's going to be more babies in a year or so. It's just naturally what's going to happen. But what does it mean for our business? Well, I think it's going to have a huge knock-on effect on hypnotherapy businesses. And to give you an idea, I think 33% of small businesses in China were able to stay open. So that means the majority of small businesses are shut. They're not seeing anyone. So that gives you an idea of the impact. So no matter what your people are thinking at the moment of keep calm and carry on, as the case numbers increase, that will be harder and harder for people to do. And ultimately, it's going to have a knock-on effect on people's bottom lines. No matter what way you look at it, I can't see that it won't. People will be tighter with money. Okay, not just from the fact they won't even be using money, that's another thing, because the coronavirus can stay on the money. They're disinfecting money in China. So, by the way, expect more online payments. So if you can't take online or chip and pin, get ready for that, or bank transfers. But also people won't be working as much. There's a lot of people who are on 0 hours contracts or, doing those kind of things. And they're not going to have the money to see therapists quite as easily as they did before. So that's one thing to think about. From a therapist point of view, I would say you need contingency funds. So if you're earning at the moment, stash away as much as you can. This is not the time to be doing big investments for the future. It's a bit of a saving time. I would look at reducing overheads if things get more serious. I wrote a blog post on this. But if you're in a therapy center at the moment and you're paying, month by month, and this kicks in, if you can park your payments, if you can stop paying for it and move to your home, if that's required, then that's better. Moving to online therapy is going to be big. So you need to have that contingency plan and start to look at your cash flow and where your overheads are, because there may be some things over the coming weeks that people might have to pare down on in the short term. So if I'm getting less calls and I'm getting less money in, then I might start to say my virtual assistance package that I'm paying for at the moment is not a necessity. And so you have to look at what's coming in and what's going out. We've got to look at what might happen with just general life in general. So one of the things I was thinking, childcare. So we know that schools in Italy have shut now, and universities. So those kids are all at home. So what happens to the parents? The parents can't go to work. And so that means the parents can't necessarily come out to do the sessions that they'd be having with you. I think we're only a week or two, maybe a month away from that occurring here as well. So that is going to be a thing. Plus exam season. which is not that far away, which normally some
No.
therapists will be getting clients from, you may see less of that, because I'm guessing that they're going to park some of those exams and do them later on in the summer or even later. Okay, so just think of those kind of things. But childcare is going to be an issue. If you're a hypnotherapist yourself and you've got children, then how are you going to see your clients if those children are at home? How are you going to split your workload? Can you split it with your partner? Have you got people who might look after them? So that's one thought I had. Therapy centres. I was in a therapy centre I work in Nottingham on Tuesday, and they were already reporting that people were cancelling appointments, not with me, but with other therapists. So expect that to happen. People are going to be less able or wanting to come to public spaces, especially if you're a therapist in a city, or a big town. People are going to want to stay away from crowds. I also want you to think about your contracts that you have with your clients. If you haven't got a contract, you need to have them by law, and you need to get something written down as to what you're providing as your services. You need to be thinking about those contracts and how you're going to write in a clause of what is going to happen if coronavirus kicks in, okay, what you're going to do and how you're going to see those clients, and and fulfill the contract, as it were. You may choose to say, which I'm planning to do, that I will be seeing you online if I can't see you in person. And because otherwise, if you're taking money up front, which a lot of therapists are, you're going to have a problem, aren't you? If I've just taken this 4-course package off you. Oh, I can't see you, and you don't want to come in anymore. How are we going to fulfill the contract? So you need to be thinking about these things as people are booking in now, because you're going to come across this. If you're a therapy training provider, there's lots of people who do CPDs and so forth. What are you going to do there? Because if you're running, teaching hypnotherapy or teaching any CPDs, again, you'll have paid money out for hotels, or you'll have paid out for all kinds of, things, or maybe people have paid you in advance. How are you going to do the training for those people? You need to start thinking about how you can run that training online for multiple people. Insurance, if anyone does have insurance, business interruption insurance, now's the time to be asking your insurance broker what's covered. Don't leave it until everyone's picking up the phone in chaos. Try and work out where the lay of the land is now. And the other thing I was thinking of is diversification. Even if you haven't got it now, people will need to diversify in the future, because you can't put, and I've said this from years back, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're relying on all of your income coming in from one income source, and that income source goes, as we're seeing now, what the hell do you do? So passive income products, selling ebooks, affiliate marketing, whatever, needs to be part of your business, because it sort of in some way insulates you from the bad times. Now, it is not all bad, okay?
No, it's being aware that you need to be ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And rather than working on crisis management, all right, it's all gone bad now. Now what do I do? Just having that little bit of foresight, isn't it, with things?
Exactly.
Because, as we know, I mean, there's a lot of things that go online about the coronavirus, and everybody's saying, it's just like the flu, it's just like this, whatever. You don't have to worry about it. You're not going to die, and that might be the case. You might not die, probably won't die, but in reality, you still don't want to catch it, and we still have to stop it. We have to contain it, don't we? We can't just allow it to spread the way it's going on.
Yeah.
Because regardless of how you believe how severe it is, our clients are anxious clients, a lot of them. So how okay are they going to be about going in your office when they know that there's other people be in your office?
Well, I can tell you already from my experience on Tuesday, not very happy about it. Now, that may be a small percentage at the start, but they might be the percentage, as you said, as your anxious clients. They might be the percentage who are your older clients who are more likely to catch it. People with impaired immune systems, they're going to be worried. So, when people say it's just like the flu, It isn't. So I'm going to be honest with
No.
you. It is not just like the flu. It is significantly worse than the flu. You're much more likely to die with this than you are with the flu. Now, it isn't like Ebola, where you might have a 40–50% chance of dying. So we're good on that. But, you know, for certain strands of the population, you have to be looking after them. And that's another thing, you know, managing your risk. So that's my risk and theirs. So I think we were talking just before we came on live how I've adapted my setup at home already. I've taken a towel out of the bathroom. I've now put in paper towels. I only put in a certain amount at a time for that one person. Each time that person goes into the toilet, I bleach all the fittings, you know, the toilet seat, the pull, the light switches and the handles. Am I being overcautious? I don't think I am. People are coming into my home and I want to make sure they're safe and vice versa. Also, taking away the glasses that I have for people to drink out of, it makes sense now to have paper cups, one at a time, that can be immediately binned. Just common sense approaches to making sure that you're just keeping the hygiene that the government is requiring. And it gives your clients hopefully a sense of security knowing that you're doing that to protect them and you. But as I said, I do believe we'll be seeing significantly less clients one-to-one, face-to-face over the coming weeks. I think it is inevitable you're going to get people on that phone because coronavirus is in little spots at the moment. One person here, one person there. When in your area now, Steve, where you live, if suddenly somebody, where are you based? You're Sunderland way, aren't you? Middlesbrough. So if 100 or 2,000 people in Middlesbrough have got the virus, how many people are coming out to see you now? That's exactly when things change. There's a tipping point, isn't there? One person in Middlesbrough, not bothered. 2,000 people in Middlesbrough, now I'm starting to worry a little bit, so that people will only go out. Sorry?
There was a little bit of a head in the sand type of mentality with a lot of people, and you know, you've only got to look at Italy. It's not that far away from us, and that's affected them massively.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, hopefully this all will blow over. This will all be blown over in a month or two.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is. But what if it isn't? What if it isn't? You've got to have things in place.
Yeah.
And I also think as therapists, we've also got that responsibility too, by doing our little bit to try to help not spread it. And if that means getting some paper towels in, if that means getting some paper cups in, that means that, you know, every client that's been in this week, the first thing they do is they want to shake my hand, and I've said, sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
They understand it. I give them an explanation behind it. But it's just the little things that we can all do, isn't it, that help spread this thing.
Exactly. And it's just common sense approaches, as I said, you know, but we'll see where this goes. Now, there is the positive side, which is obviously part of the reason that I've come on, because we have to look at what we can do to either mitigate our losses or not to have any losses at all. I'd be surprised if people get away with no losses. I will be. This is my pessimistic side, but I would be surprised. However, I'll tell you what's going down, okay? If I was marketing at the moment, I wouldn't be doing weight loss so much, okay? Because no one's going on holiday and no one wants that bikini body anymore, okay? They're too busy indoors eating food out of tins. You can get them after it's all over, but for now, no. Comfort eating, looking after yourself, eating chocolate, making yourself feel better is what everyone's about now. So I don't think we're going to see so much of that. Confidence, public speaking. No one's going to be out in public doing any bloody public speaking. So they're going to go. You're going to start to see this. I mentioned exams earlier. Exams probably is likely to be parked. And if you're a therapist that has multiple strings to your bow, massages, Reiki, you can imagine what's happening with a massage therapist at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. I can already see that people are going, I don't want to be near somebody who's touching me. It's going to have a real impact on those people. But what's going up? Depression. Stop smoking after yesterday, after one of the chief medical officers decided that coronavirus is made worse in smokers and vapors. So that's something you can capitalize on. Stop smoking. sleep problems, OCD, in particular in relation to germs, health anxiety, anxiety in general, panic attacks, stress.